Hello there everyone, and welcome to another video on Nemesis 1994. So during the colder months of January, when lots of snow coming down, it's the sort of time where some enthusiasts like to stay at home and make content in other different ways, just like myself. So I play a lot of stuff on consoles and laptops, PCs, such as Planet Coaster and Planet Coaster 2, and a lot of other things. Another one of my favourite sites is Ride Sims 2. So it's a ride operating simulation game, which is for website browsers, which anyone can join up to, where you get to operate in a simplified way a lot of your favourite rides from around the world. It's free for anyone to join up to, so you just have to create an account with an email and password, and you can get right to it. It's completely free, however there's some settings and some simulations and other features that are a paid subscription via Patreon. So I'll show you that now. That is considered Ride Sims Plus. So for approximately £8 a month, you'll get access to an extra sim each month, like in their beta testing stage. So this month is the Tomorrowland People Mover at Walt Disney World. And a new sim is released each month. So the one that was free for this month, which was obviously beta last month, was the Walt Disney World Tower of Terror. So both the one from Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney World are both on here. You get a behind the scenes blog. You get access to that. And the other thing you'll get access to is settings in individual sims, which I can show you when we operate them. So we move on to the simulations. They're all categorized for you at the top with some challenges and targets. And here's all the different ones. They've all got a different difficulty ratings depending on how easy or difficult they are to operate and how much multitasking is required for the parts of the ride, which obviously more hands-on based ones will be considered hard, and easier ones will only have a couple of buttons. There's a large array of simulations to choose from flat rides to water rides to coasters to anything. So if we head up towards the top for the one we're going to operate today, I've picked out a sort of easier one to start with, and it's based on next weekend I'll be going down to Efteling for the first time, which I'm quite excited for. So we've got a simulation for Baron 1898. So if I click on that, it will load up. So I hope the sound comes out alright, because my screen recorder doesn't pick up the best. So it doesn't record sound, so the volume's going to have to come through the audio of my voice. So hopefully it can be heard. So here's all your main controls. So you've got to lower and the floor and dispatch is the space key. To raise the floor is the space when the trainer comes back into the station. To open and close the doors, well, they're called gates on the instructions, but they're like doors. Right to open, left to close. The S key is your emergency stop, with holding R resets it. Open and close the restraints with the up and down key. Enter to control the pre-show, so load and start it. And 1 and 2 key adds your single rider queue to the loading A and B area. So I'll show more of that when we get onto it. So some of the things we can control, there is a selection of sims have touchscreen available for phones and iPads to play this on. So you've got to make sure it's got the small hand icon in the corner of the sim when selecting one, so you can have touchscreen controls. This is one of the features where you pay monthly for with the Patreon, how busy your queue line is. So if you want the maximum guests in our queue, it would be busy mode, or going on to quiet would make it like a quieter day where less people are joining your queue. Average is sort of a mix of both, which you get if you're playing for free. So let's begin operating the ride. So if we power on the ride by pressing power and holding the R key to reset the E-stop, so the wheel comes out from the top, which is a nice effect. So the system's been reset. We need to switch this flashing key at the bottom to orange, which is maintenance mode, and then we can activate the block zones. If I activate it actually to maintenance mode. So all them are switched on. So I usually like to be realistic and I send around a test train for each train. So the when I add them from the mech area or like the maintenance sheds, they will automatically go around the circuit. So it's got to test everything's working. So we have to press space to higher the floor. Open and close the restraints to cycle that. Right, our first train's ready to go around the circuit. So holding space until it disappears. So that train's moved into the maintenance section. Not maintenance section, my bad. The pre-show. Right before it climbs the lift. And it's gone straight up. So to add another train, we've got to turn the transfer block off. Press add train. And then we can add train from space 2 to the circuit. When that's perfectly aligned, we can press transfer to green and then it will move forward around the circuit. I did open the queue line to start filling up our pre-show zones. So as you may notice, right on the bottom right screen it says lobby. So A and B shows the two halves of your pre-show, which can both fit a maximum of 18 guests in. So if you have 17, you can probably fit a single rider in. So if we press 1, that will switch that to 18. We should be now ready to add train 3 to the circuit. And our first train has been added. Our first train has arrived back at the station. So if we hold the space and open the restraints, that's ready in position for us to start loading the ride. So all we need to do now is set all the blocks on, and all 3 trains are now on the circuit. So now if we switch from maintenance to normal mode, we can now start operating the ride properly with guests. So our pre-show is full, so if we press the enter key, people will enter the pre-show. Some simulations take longer than others to set up. So some take quite a while, some are fairly quick to set up. So this one doesn't really take too long. One of the longest ones to set up is the Disney World monorail. That one takes quite a while to get trains onto all the different lines. Rides like Valhalla and things take quite a while to set up, whereas some are fairly quick, like ones on moving platforms, like moving continuous loading platforms are pretty simple to just flick a switch and it starts. Something like the Haunted Mansion doesn't really take long to set up. So we're now all loading the pre-show. So that's started, and we'll continue loading more people in to the batching areas. We have a fair bit of a queue here with about 36, 34 people waiting to be batched. Make sure to comment down below what other simulations you'd like me to play, because I'm going to pre-record a few different ones, bit of a variety coming up. So if there's anything specific you want me to play, let me know in the comments. Most rides out there are on the website because it's grown quite a lot in the last few years, so there's quite a few on there. If you're also enjoying these videos as well, make sure to like and subscribe as well. We have some more vlogs coming over the next few months as the parks start to reopen, starting with Efteling next weekend. So I'll be getting to try Baron in real life for the first time instead of operating it. Hopefully next weekend. I've been notified there is some closures, such as the Rapids, the Flying Dutchman, which is on here as well, and Python, which are not operating, probably down to some maintenance. Right, now that the gates are now loading up, we can start loading people onto the ride and loading the next batch of people. I did miss a single rider, oopsie. So we can close the gates and close the restraints. So the bit after the pre-show can hold about... So 2 trainfuls go through at a time, and it can hold, I think, about 4 in case you get backed up. So we start that running, and we can dispatch the first train as well. So it's quite self-explanatory once you've got the hang of it. It's pretty simple to get quicker at it and provide a good operation for the ride. It's pretty self-explanatory once you've got the hang of it. It's pretty easy to do it. And obviously the more people that you send around on the ride, the more you're going to score. I've known high scores on this to be like for people to sit doing it for hours. So it can get pretty repetitive, but it's what operating a ride is. It is pretty repetitive. Now we've got another train to dispatch. Dispatch. The pre-show seems to be holding us up because the third train's ready to go round. Third train's ready to load. So operating the ride is pretty self-explanatory. It's a case of loading the pre-show, people go through. You open and close the gates to let people onto the ride. Open and close restraints and send it round. So it's pretty easy to do, Baron. It's considered an easy simulation. So something you can get with all sims is more some than others, but there's a range of breakdowns for each ride. So it can be a range of things as the system can auto detect a problem and you stop your ride automatically, or you might need to reactivate a block. So if that happens, your mechanic icon at the bottom of the screen on the left will flash red, and it will say that you've got a problem and you need to call the mechanic. So if we take a little look at that now. So this box over here that says system active. So it will say like there'll be a problem in red, and it will say call the mechanic. So you press the call mechanic, and a notification will come up on the screen telling you what you need to do, whether the system auto restarts or if a block needs reactivating. These bars are also probably representing your maintenance of the trains, so when that gets completely low, you'll need to put your trains in the maintenance shed to have them fixed. So you might need to drop operation, but that only comes if you're playing for quite some time. So I can keep operating for a bit and get back to you when there's a mechanic problem. If I'm being honest, I could be here all day waiting for one to happen. So it's a case of just showing you how the simulations work. It can take a few minutes after dispatching some trains for score to appear on your score system. So I'm not sure how frequently breakdowns turn up, but you can turn them off if you find them too persistent. So I've been playing the sim for a little bit now, and it seems like nothing's going to go wrong, where sometimes you can get breakdowns fairly often, so I could be waiting quite a while for it to happen. So it's been good to show you a good gist of how to play ride sims and how to operate some of your favourite rides. There's many different ones out there to try, so it's going to be pretty good series for the channel. So if you have enjoyed watching this video, make sure to comment, like and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed watching and hope you continue to watch more of these Ride Sims 2 videos coming very soon. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and goodbye for now.